Time is of the essence. We must assist our allies.
Well, folks, for today, we'll be talking about black characters, and African as well. Tell me something, how come the East can do better black characters and African characters than the West? Well, for starters, they don't have the Killmonger haircut. I'll give you a few examples. Christy Montero, Eddie Goro from Tekken, First Descendant, Keelan, Barrett from Final Fantasy. Oh yeah, Raven from Tekken, he's a black. Let's see what else. Street Fighter, what they have? Wait, I think Street Fighter has one? I don't know. I want to see what Atreus think about fighting cowboy. He crashes out and he responds to that in the, he refused to admit Ubisoft is doing the wrongs. Keep on saying that it's still a game. And for the record, 2 million players is not enough. Look, that's bullshit. SteamDB proves it. It's still like, what, 60,000? Last time I checked? That's not players.
On somebody in his audience. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
I don't give a fuck what your opinion is of this game. I don't care. Your opinion is worthless to me. The quality of health of my morning shit had a bigger impact on my thought process today than you being upset that there's a black guy in Assassin's Creed.
First of all, I didn't even catch this when we was on New Black Street. He said the quality of his morning shit had a bigger impact on his thought process. That's insane. I gotta give him credit for that. That's insane. Let's keep going.
So shut the fuck up. All right? We're not doing this shit. It's a fucking video game. If you are upset that there's a black guy in a video game, fuck off. I don't want you here.
So let me make sure I clarify. It's not about a black guy being in a video game. There's been plenty of video games with a black guy in the video game and nobody was upset about it. It's that Yasuke doesn't belong here. Like, don't get me wrong, he belongs in that time period. He has no business being the main character. You don't have to care about it. I'm not asking you to care about it, but I'm not going to let you say, things that are incorrect or not true. People are not upset because there's a black guy in the game. People are upset because we waited for years for a Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan, and you virtue signaled by making Yasuke the main character, knowing that you was just trying to do it for diversity and equity and inclusion and stuff like that. Let's keep going.
Before we let Atreus continue, all gamers are waiting for it, but in the end, they got the same thing. It's the reason why in my first channel, I make a video that is called, which you should check it. It's called The Eastern AAA Video Games and Developers Will Conquer the West, aka the Western market. It will conquer. Stellar Blade and Black Myth Wukong open the doors. If Ubisoft keep on doing stuff like this, I mean, regardless of whether these shields or fighting cowboy like to say, by the way, his subs about 1 million. Trez, I don't know if you know this. Usually if 1 million subs, they could average, I don't know, about 10,000 at best, depending on the game they play. He managed to get like, what, 1 to 3,000? And I'm certain Hypnotic's video, well, your video at least, 7 hours ago, your video pretty much beats Fighting Cowboy's video. Atreus, I'm certain if you don't know.
Stop. I'm not doing this fucking argument. Every goddamn game these days. Oh, it's woke. Oh, there's a black guy. Oh, there's a trans person. Shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, while I don't disagree with you, it can be tiring. The simple fact of the matter is that every game nowadays is being made to virtue signal. Or not made to virtue signal, but being used as a agent to virtue signals. And people are tired of it, including people like me.
Play the game or go the fuck outside, bro. It's not that hard. God damn. I've been on this earth 37 fucking years. When I was a kid, guess what? If a game came out and I didn't want to get involved with it, I didn't fucking play with it. I didn't go on the internet and cry like an entitled little child. Wah, 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 wah. The game doesn't have stuff that I want.
So, I want to address this on two fronts. First of all, when you were a kid, the internet wasn't as prominent. There was not as much social media, if there was any at all, okay? Like, even when you and I, like when we bought games back in the day and we had our parents spend $50 on a game, we had to cross our fingers and hope that that game was good. Because if it wasn't, we had no space, no avenue to, like, voice our frustrations. And that's just what it was. Now we have social media. And I think you, the gamer, are well within your right to voice your displeasure about the direction of a game purchase you made, whatever the case may be. You are the customer. And so if we don't communicate what it is that we want and don't want, then they'll continue to do shit like this.
This person, when he made the response, well, when Hypnotic watched the response or respond to him, whatever it is, basically he just avoided criticism. He doesn't even mention the fact, or perhaps Fighting Cowboy here, doesn't mention the fact that Japanese players are fed up, and the Japanese Prime Minister is also raising concern for disrespectful. You can't disrespect Asian culture, whether it's Japan, China, or even South Korea. Imagine if Korea was united and you disrespect their culture. How do you think that will end up? Or perhaps if you disrespect Chinese culture. Seriously, when you people say it's a game or not, culture is a different thing and should not be taken lightly. Don't you know people can get arrested for that? The Japanese Prime Minister said diplomacy doesn't work, regardless whether you're from whatever countries, such as America or England. If you disrespect the culture, you will be arrested, and diplomacy will not help. Bit of a long rant. Let's talk about the difference then. First and foremost is that the Killmonger haircut. I think for certain Japanese, or in this case any Asian developers, knew that nobody likes the Killmonger haircut, which is a good thing. Kudos to the first descendant for not using that Killmonger haircut. I mean, the East have done it right. Like in Tekken, Street Fighters. I believe Street Fighter has black characters. I don't know. I'm gonna have to recheck. King of Fighters, Marvel vs. Capcom. That's right. And there's many others. Resident Evil 5, of which this person here, if either Stellar Blade or Resident Evil 5 got shit on, he's not gonna say anything. He would say all the criticism against either Stellar Blade or Black Myth Wukong or Resident Evil 5 Remake is warranted. While Assassin's Creed Shadows, you're just rage baiting. And for the record, grifting or not, these people who are grifting, what if all of them were true? Whether we grift or not, you know for full well that we respect our culture. Your response to that is what? Go outside, touch grass, get a job. How do you think people like Atreus, Farrah Dark, Hypnotic, Endymion can afford a gaming PC or even a console? How do they can afford those kind of things? And an expensive one, like what you're seeing here. What I'm using is an Asus TUF Gaming F15 2021. It's not cheap. So before you even ask people who grift on this stuff and saying that they should get a job, always ask how did these people can afford stuff, stuff like monitor, headphones, microphones, consoles, gaming PC, gaming laptops, all of that. Ask yourself that. In summary, if the West keeps on continuing this path, if they keep on virtue signaling and refuse to lie to their audience, remember, 2 million players concurrent is not a good sign because Ubisoft didn't say the metrics, whether it's Steam or PS Plus or total concurrent. They didn't say that. Look, SteamDB may be inaccurate for most people, but I like to use it because that is how you know whether it succeeds or fails. And to all the Western AAA devs, are you really going to let, what am I saying? You're trying to let the East conquers your market. I mean, honestly, at this point, the West would just let the East have it because the East is gonna take the market from the Western AAA devs one by one. And if the Western AAA developers continue this path, they can go suck it up in the employment line. Nobody will miss them. And to all those developers, or perhaps in this case, experienced developers and talented writers, creators, anything, if you have to work in the East, go for it. If you have the talent, go for it.
Your might on the battlefield proved most impressive. With a little more training, you will be right up there with me in no time.
Leave a like and subscribe if you want gaming news, theories, or perhaps you want to see me play games, or you just like trending topics. Visit my first, third, and fourth channel up here, or link in the description.